Hey y'all, can you guess what we are doing today? Look what I have in front of me. I am so excited to do this with you guys. Yesterday, I put out the video for the Joanna Basford interactive color palette color along that we are going to do in my Facebook group. And there are so many of you that are so excited to do that with us. Now, we chose two different pages from two different books. The other one is Lost Ocean. The one I'm going to work on in this video is from Joanna Basford's World of Flowers, and the color palette that was chosen for this page in this book is this one. Isn't that beautiful? So I'm going to work with you today as we choose the colors. Now, I want you to know you are not necessarily supposed to use the same colors that I'm choosing. I want you to be able to use this video as a guide, not necessarily just for this coloring event that we're doing right now, but to be able to apply this anytime you want to follow a color palette. Following color palettes can be a challenge, but it is always so much fun to challenge yourself when coloring. When you get to that point where you just don't have the motivation to do something else, or you're not sure what you want to do, it is always so much fun to choose a color palette and know how to choose your colors for that color palette. So let's go ahead and work on that. Now, this first color that we have here, this, I guess they're calling New York pink. I don't know what colors these are for. It's just a palette I found online on a website. To find your palette, all you have to do is go to Google and type in color palette for flowers, color palette for summer, spring color palette. You can even type in greens, blues, yellows color palettes. And a lot of times it will take you to Pinterest. You can also go to Pinterest and type in any topic you want for any kind of, whatever you're looking for, any kind of theme. You can type in sailboat color palette and you will actually find color palettes for sailboats if you're coloring a sailboat, or maybe you're coloring something that is very summery and you just want like the colors in a sailboat or something, I don't know, blossom, or you could name a specific flower. You could find anything you want as far as color palettes go, and it is a lot of fun to do coloring pages like this. Okay, so let's scoot some of this over and arrange this so y'all can see exactly what I'm doing. Now, I did a previous video like this, but it wasn't as thorough, and it did get a lot of views and there were a lot of people interested. So I'm going to try to make this one a little bit more thorough, using some of the ideas that some people had suggested to me or questions they had asked. So let's we're going to go to my pinks, and we are going to try to match this color up the best we can. Now, I am looking at, let me see what this color is that I just pulled out, Nectar. Now, that is kind of close, but I don't think that it is necessarily exact. Well, I don't know. Oh my gosh, y'all. The other thing is, like last night, I did this last night and I did pick my colors already, but I kind of wanted to pick colors with you all on camera so you could understand exactly how to do it, instead of just saying, these are my colors and this is what I picked, and I picked this one, this one, this one. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to show you exactly how to do it in detail so that y'all can do it the same way and have a better understanding of it. Like in the last video, I just basically showed you what colors I chose for each part of the palette. And I know a lot of people asked me, am I choosing the colors in the picture, meaning the picture on the palette, or am I choosing the colors that are in the boxes? We are using the boxes as our main color, and then we're going to go in and we're going to choose one that is maybe darker or lighter. Or somebody else had asked me, are we using these colors over here for our darkest color? You're not necessarily always going to use these for your darkest color. It really all depends on the palette. Sometimes you'll get a palette and it has a lot of darker colors. Then you'll want to use your palette for the darker colors. If you have a palette that kind of has medium colors, then you want to use the palette to use your main color as your medium color, and then you'll choose a darker one and a lighter one. We are going to go through and we're going to choose 3 pencils for each one, and I'll probably use these colors for the medium color, and then I'm going to choose one for my darker colors, which will be for my shadows, and then for my lighter color, which will be like what I like to call my highlight color. So if I'm looking at this one does actually, now that I'm looking at it, match up pretty well. So I'm going to put that nectar aside. And I want to show you one other thing. I know some of you may already know about this, but not everybody does. If you go into the App Store and you get this app called Colored Pencil Picker, here it is on my phone. I'm using the 150 set, so I'm going to click on the 150 set of Prismacolors. So I'm going to load my palette in on my phone. And if I go here to this New York pink, this is what it tells me. It gives me suggestions of peach and pink. Now, as you can see, some of these are locked because I have to watch an ad to unlock them, or I have to pay for the full version. Now, I did some of this last night and tried to use this app, and a lot of these I don't really agree with what it chose for me. Like, it says pink, but if you look at the pink, like I just showed you a minute ago, it does not really match up as much. It is much brighter, and the nectar is actually a better match. So we're going to use for our main color this nectar. Okay, and then so if we're going to use this, I would say this is like a medium color. So now we need to find something that'll blend well with this that is a darker shade and a lighter shade. So I really like peach to go along with that, or you could bring in other colors as long as you stay within the pink family. And I like to go with something that is a little bit brighter because I want to have that highlight effect in what I'm coloring. So like if I'm using this nectar, and you can see it's a much more muted tone, I would probably want to go with something like this Deco Peach. Okay, so if I come in on here, and you can see that is a really good match to this pink. Now, if I come in with this Deco Peach, you can see that that blends really nicely together. Now we're going to go and choose our darkest color that we would like to add to this for the New York pink. And I don't know. Let me pull my pencils over here for y'all to see, and you could help me choose. So these are what we're working with so far. So we need to choose something that is darker for our shadows. So you need to kind of decide if you want to go brighter, darker, if you want to go darker, darker, or where you want to go with this. And I don't know, like almost I'm thinking something from like over here might actually go really well. Like this chestnut color would kind of blend in well with these. But see, this chestnut really doesn't go at all with this pink necessarily, but we are trying to find blends for the original color that we matched up to this pink. Okay, so if I come in here, let's zoom in some more and put this chestnut here with this, and look at that blendability and how beautiful that is. Oh, I think this, gosh, I think I like this better than the original colors that I chose. Look how pretty that is. Let's do another one. Let's start with the darkest. Okay, so let's start with the darkest. And then of course, as we get into our lightest, we kind of lighten up on our pressure. And then we're gonna come in here with the next color, the nectar. And we're gonna lighten up with that one. And then we're gonna come in here with this one. Oh, I really love that. That is so pretty. I think I'm going to be changing the original colors that I chose. I'm gonna put these on here because I wanna see. Oh my gosh, look how close that is. That color is spot on. Yes, okay, so that's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. I love it. Okay, so let's move on to this kind of muted yellow. It looks a lot like goldenrod to me. I think this one has more yellow in it, so maybe this pencil here, yellow ochre. And I'm gonna do what I did last time, the other one, and I'm gonna color right on the swatch. And that is almost it. Now, when I put this color into the color pencil picker last night, it told me jasmine. But when I tried to match it up, the jasmine didn't look right, but color pencil picker might be right. And look at that, it is. So jasmine is exact, and that matches up almost perfectly. So we are going to have to look at our pencils now, and we are going to find something. If we're using this one for the medium color, then we need to find something that is our highlight color and our darker color. So I would need to decide where I want to go with this. Like I could stay with the more muted type yellows. I could add something that has a little bit of orange in it, which I probably will do a yellow orange with this because I think that is going to look best. And I want to keep in mind when I am coloring, I want to be able to shadow things. So I need to pick the best color that is going to be the best one for me that I can shadow things with. I really like this mineral orange. Okay, so if I put my darkest color here, and then I come in with the lighter color, don't know, I think that blends nicely, but I'm also thinking I might want to go a little bit lighter than the mineral orange. No, that I don't like that one. That's going too dark. Let me see here. Maybe I want to go, maybe I'll go with the goldenrod. I wonder what kind of blend we can get here with the goldenrod. I think this is going to work out much nicer. And it does. Okay, so we have those two. Now we need to find something much lighter, and I always like to go with a highlight color that is going to brighten up my picture. This is what we have so far. And so I would say our highlight colors are in this area here. And we've got this lemon yellow, which is a really pretty color. And then we have one of my favorites, the Deco Yellow. And then we have cream. The cream might really be nice. If we wanted more muted though, we could probably go with sable. Let's try the cream. And when we also have eggshell, which may work as well. Okay, so let's come back in here and let's try these and see what the cream does. The cream is actually a really beautiful color, and I use it so much for highlighting. It is really light though, as you can see. I'm trying to figure out if maybe, I mean again here I'm just kind of thinking out loud, but I'm wondering if I want to go darker and add another darker color to this palette instead of going lighter and using this. I mean, again, you can do whatever you want to do. There are no rules. Let's maybe try it first with the sable and come in here and swatch out. Let me zoom you guys in. Okay, so let's see what happens here if we use this as our darkest shade. That was the goldenrod. And then come in here with the jasmine, which is the actual shade of our box on our color palette. Those two blend together so nicely. And then let's see what happens when we add the sable. Now see, the sable I think is too, the sable's not gonna work. Not going to work. The other choice, maybe a Deco Yellow. Let's see what that looks like next to that. That's too bright. Okay, so let's come back with the mineral orange and see if maybe we can add the mineral orange in with this. Okay, so the mineral orange would then be our darkest color. And then the goldenrod would then be our medium color. And then so that would make jasmine our lightest color. And that I really like. My only other option would be to go darker than this mineral orange, but I think that I like it. Okay, so I'm gonna try something else here. And I pulled out my pumpkin orange to see if maybe I want to go even darker with it. That's my pumpkin orange. That's my goldenrod. And oh, those two look so pretty next to one another. And then my jasmine. I really love that. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, so that is what I'm choosing for the next one. Okay, so let's go ahead and swatch it on here. Now see how I ended up using this as the lightest color. See how that blends right in on the swatch? And then I brought in two darker colors. So now this jasmine is going to be used as what I like to call my highlight color. So I've got the three colors for this yellowish right here, where there is a very pale purple or pink being pulled into this. That has too much purple. I don't know that there is going to be an exact match of this one, and I really struggled with choosing for this color. Now see, this is a lot darker. This is the beige sienna, but it is darker. A darker shade of this. Well, no, it's got too much brown in it. That is closer, but still not really. Grade lavender. That is darker. Let me show y'all this one. But this is darker, but it's kind of along the same lines as this color. And there is really nothing else in the Prismacolor set that is fitting to this. So, goodness, we may be using purples. Okay, so I've got grade lavender. And then if I was sticking, this looks like it has a lot of purple. It's like, it's very mauve-y. But here is the rosy beige. And see, that's kind of in the same color family. And then this one is the clay rose. This one is too. It's just much darker. And I think that I like the rosy beige. Now if I turn this here and swatch these out, let me lay this rosy beige down. This is a pretty color. And then let me put this grade lavender with it. Now see, they don't really go. I'm thinking I might need to put purples with it, or maybe another thing that I could do is I could kind of just use that palette to throw some colors in that I think would go well with the other colors that I chose. Now the first set of pinks that I chose, adding in this rosy beige would give me more room to mix colors and such with the nectar that is in that set and the peach and everything else. So I could either go with this rosy beige, or I could use the clay rose, depending on where I want to go with this. But the clay rose is going to be much darker, if you could see that swatch, and then this is going to be much lighter, and I think it has, I think it's closer to that color family. Okay, so let's swatch this on here. And then swatch this grayed lavender next to it. I mean, I guess they go okay together. I'm just not like, it's not like a color combination that I would be like, oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. And I want to color everything with it, you know, that feeling when you come up with a combination and it's like amazing and you just absolutely love it. And see, these are both kind of, well, they swatch together nicely. They do. And I'm sure I could do something with them because I've got this other purple down here. So adding in this lighter shade of purple will give me other things to be able to do with the colors that I choose for this swatch. And then this is kind of in the middle with kind of mauve-y grayed. Oh, it kind of goes with the grays and such. So let's find something that's gonna lighten these up. I mean, they do, yeah, I think that they look nice together, but maybe a really light this one is really bright. This is the lavender, and that is not gonna work for sure. What about adding in the putty beige? I'm sure that we could add that to our page and use it for something. Let's check here and see how these blend out. See, when you're putting these colors together, it's kind of a lot of talking out loud and trying to figure out what is going to work best. But this color on this color palette, I definitely struggled with the most. Now, since we have a house on our page, I could add that putty beige and get away with it because I could bring that in somewhere. I could even use it for shading. I've actually never used my putty beige before, so that would be a challenge. But here's those three colors swatched, and here's the three colors. And I think we're going to stick with that for this one. And I'll put them next to it and you could see the variation. So if we were going like this, dark, medium, light, then we've picked something and that'll go nicely with the other colors that I've chosen for my palette. Because if you remember when we did the yellows, we had the chestnut in here and that kind of goes with those as well. And then when I did the pinks, I had the nectar in here and that goes nicely with those as well. So keep that in mind while you're choosing. Okay, so that one is done. So now we're going to move on to this one here that is kind of like a mauve hue. And I don't know, Parma Violet is close, but I don't think we're going to find anything perfect on this one in this Prismacolor set. But that, because see, the color is completely different. If you look at it on what I printed out, and then you look at it here on the screen, they are different. So I really need to just use this. So Parma Violet, and then we need to bring in something lighter for this, and we don't have that many to choose from when it comes to the purples. So let me zoom you guys back out again so you could see what I'm doing here. Oh, let's come back in so I could swatch these. Okay, so I already have that one down there. Let's try adding, no, this is going No, that's not going to work. Not lilac. We need to go lighter. Because, like I said, we need some kind of highlight color. So, let's try this. Lighten it up to come into the lighter color. And then we're going to come in here. And I think this will really help brighten it up. This is the lavender. And there is nothing lighter than the lavender. So I think we are going to have to go with it. Because the only one lighter would be that, what is it called? Grade lavender? Yeah, and we've already used that in our other. So we are going to have to go with these colors. And then now we got to pick a darkest color for this one. And I want something that is really bold and going to stand out. So, and this this Parma Violet is already fairly dark. So I'm going to go really dark here. Let me try violet. Okay, so let's just put some of this violet in here with this. I don't know. I'll try it. I think it might be too close. Yeah, we're not going to use violet. We need to go with something that has a little bit more of a variation, but is still darker. Maybe black grape. Either black grape or this dioxazine purple hue. Let's try the dioxazine purple hue. Oh, this is really dark. I don't know if I want to go that dark. Maybe something like black cherry, because that will bring in a little bit more color variation. Okay, so we are going to try it with black cherry. And I don't know, that one might have too much red in it. Yeah, I don't know if I want to go there. Okay, so we are going to try the dark purple. And I think we are gonna turn this over because I don't have any room. That's a really pretty shade. And it's blending nicely, and it's kind of adding more of a red tone so they don't look so close. I don't know, how dark does this one get? That's getting a nice blend. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with those. So that is what we are choosing for this color here. Here are our colors. Of course, they don't look exact. They're not supposed to look exact, and everybody is going to have a different vision of what they want when matching it up to the palette. I'm going to show you what it looks like on here, or on my phone on that swatch, but you could see on this swatch it does look much closer. Okay, and now we got our green, and the green is easy because I'm all about greens, and I already know that this is lime peel all the way. All the way, lime peel. matches up really well. Now the color is different, like I said. On my phone it's going to show a little bit different, so if you look at this, it is very close to lime peel, and I just think that one's perfect. So now we just need to find a darker and a lighter for this green. Okay, pale sage. This I think I'm gonna like. So there we go. And then here is the pale sage. That kind of goes well with it. So let's see, possibly that one. And then we need to bring in something that is much darker. And I want to stick with the more mossy type greens. So I might actually go with straight up moss green. Unless there is, I don't want to go too dark with this one. So marine green might look nice as well. Let's try this marine green. Oh, that does look nice. And then this is our lightest one. So there's our greens for that box on our palette. Let me go ahead and swatch those out for you right on the actual palette. So there's our very dark. And look how close that lime peel is to the actual swatch. And then we've got our lightest that is going to brighten it up. So those are the colors that we're going to use. Let me just lay all of these out here for y'all to see and zoom you back out. Okay. So we've got those for the green. This is what we chose here. I'm not going to sit here and fuss with these rolling pencils. Okay, so we've got this set of 3 for here, this set of 3 for the purple. And then this was our most difficult one, trying to figure it out. But I think we'll be okay because I could just take some of these colors and kind of intermingle them with the other shades, but I think we did okay. And then here, this is the one we really changed up a lot and went with other color variations, which you can do. It's all up to what you want. I mean, I don't know. I might go back and change this one out since I have my clay rose, but I may not. I don't know. But this is what we have for, let me pull you down a little bit. That's what we have for the yellow. And then this is what we chose for our pinks. So there's our color palette. That is what we're going with. And this one, I will tell you, was probably one of the most difficult color palettes I did or have done, and I've done a lot of them. It was difficult because of this color right here, because sometimes you're not going to find exact matches when it comes to your Prismacolor set. And since this is Prismacolor, I'm not going to go choose from other pencil sets, although I have a lot of other pencil sets, but I'm not going to do that just to try to match up colors, because we did fairly well finding a great variation for that one. But that about sums up this video. I hope that this was detailed enough to help y'all try to figure out your own color palette and what you want to go with. I'm pretty happy with what I chose, and the next video coming for you will be a color along or a tutorial as I color the actual page in the World of Flowers book. I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the Facebook group.